Part 2. Silver Snow. Guardian Moon. A king without a kingdom. Having parted ways with Edelgard, former students of the Black Eagle House now work alongside the Knights of Saros at Garreg Mach. They begin to create a resistance army strong enough to take on her Imperial forces.
Oh, thank the goddess. I couldn't bear the thought of letting Gerald down by not finding you.
Guess he lucked out. We've been looking everywhere for you, but I see Lady Rhea isn't with you. Damn.
Everyone was real worried about you, Professor.
Seta told us everything. From here on out, you will have our aid.
I am so grateful that everyone is safe. I am sorry things are moving so rapidly, but there is something we must discuss. Come with me. The time has come to make our true stand against the Empire. Our base will be Garreg Mach Monastery. The interior is in less than prime condition, but we should be able to utilize it much the same as we had before.
Surely those Imperial jerks have this place staked out, right? It's a highly strategic location.
It may be an area of importance, but it is far removed from the front lines. Considering the burden of transport, it is possible they are not paying too much attention to it.
Nothing escapes the Emperor. There must at least be a spy or two.
Professor, what do you think? I see. Then it must be the right idea.
The town and surrounding hamlets are still present. And though far from abundant, the church still has funds at its disposal.
That's true. Professor, I think we can leave expanding our army to my brother. He was always good at negotiating, and I believe he is best suited to the task.
In that case, I have a request. Please allow my soldiers to join your ranks as well. House Sire already tried taking on the Emperor. As a result, our territory was stolen from us. As a consequence, I do not have many soldiers left to speak of, but those I have are yours to command.
I feel like I should tell you that I've been protecting some kids who lost their parents in the war. They're in the town right now, but maybe we can move them to the monastery? I'm sure they'd be happy to chip in however they can.
Yes, I understand. I will make the necessary arrangements.
I nabbed some valuables from my house. Father is with the Emperor now, so... It's not much, but it's yours.
I don't have a thing to contribute. In fact, I'm still in my same old clothes.
I've been wandering on my own for 5 years. I won't go back to that house or my father, that's for sure.
I understand. Leave it to me. No labor is too great if it means saving Fodlan.
Thank you.
I can't believe how long it's been since I left home. Since I was dragged out of the house, I mean. 5 whole years. It's weird to think about. At first, I remember I was desperate to go back, but now it's the opposite. I have friends here, and I have you. The monastery's become a second home to me. Back then, I never would have dreamed a day like this would come. It's all thanks to you. You've given me a second chance at life. If not for you, I never would have gotten used to leaving my room, let alone the monastery. Maybe the battlefields just dulled my senses. I'm much better with strangers and new places now, though. I don't panic nearly as much as before. A new place? All on my own? That sounds like a tough assignment. Where did this come from all of a sudden? Hey, hold on. You're teasing me, aren't you? Please don't joke around like that anymore. It's torture for me. You're still not taking me seriously. I mean it. Promise me you won't do that again. Friends respect each other's feelings, don't they? Good. I'll hold you to that. You're absolutely not allowed to send me out anywhere on my own. Got it? You would need to come with me. If you're with me, I can go anywhere in the world. No, that defeats the purpose. Why can't you get what I'm saying? Oh, that's enough. I need some time alone. Professor?
This may seem a bit sudden, but I want to thank you, Professor. That is, for letting me live my life the way I want. I've noticed you've been giving me fewer of those soul-revealing gazes lately. I appreciate you making an effort to not trouble yourself over who I spend my time with. Well, of course. Did you think I wouldn't notice? It's kind of sweet in its own way. Professor, may I tell you a story about when I was younger? I was an orphan, living in the back alleys of Enbar, until one day I was overheard singing. That was when my new life began. I was suddenly a songstress in the Middle Franc Opera Company. Performers, nobility. I met so many people. But none of them ever really knew me. I was just some young, pretty girl who could sing. A spectacle to be admired. Even though everyone praised my looks and my voice, and they showered me with gifts, I knew one day I'd be old. My looks would fade, my voice would change. I wouldn't sound the same. And I started to wonder, when I did get old, what would I have left? I'd be old, alone, and back on the streets of the capital, right where I'd started. You can never be certain about what the future will bring. I never had much to begin with in life, and I worry that one day I'll be that way again. That's why I keep searching for someone who will love me. Someone unaware of the songstress, who can love a girl that used to be scared and alone on the streets of the capital. I wonder if such a strange person can even exist.
Professor?
Do you have a moment, Professor? I need to speak with you. Thank you so much. This is what I wanted to address. This letter from my adoptive father just arrived. Oh, have I not mentioned him? He's the reason I first came to the Officers' Academy. He's also the one who dragged me from the church where I was living, just so he could use my crest. My crest does not yet belong to a house, so he plans to use it as leverage to marry into the nobility. He's a very greedy man who was a roving merchant before adopting me, but now he's in the capital. This letter says that he's finally arranged to marry me off to a wealthy noble. I know he's just thinking of himself, but can't he see that this isn't a priority when we're at war? I don't know what to do about this proposal. I can't see any way around it, so I fear that I must. I just don't want to let go of the life that I've made for myself. I know it's not what my heart wants, but I don't have the strength to say no. I believe I've mentioned this before, but I want to work in service of the church. Well, I suppose it doesn't necessarily have to be the church, but I want to help those in need. If I were to marry a noble, I think it would be difficult to realize that dream. It's just, I've always allowed myself to follow the whims of those above me. I convinced myself that everything in life was at the will of the goddess. I was blind to reality. I believed it was her will to both pull me from the church and guide me to the officers' academy. The decision to enter this war was the first time I acted of my own free will. My adoptive father opposed this decision, but I somehow managed to convince him. Still, I couldn't free myself of him completely. This letter is proof of that. It's not that I'm scared of him, but there is something that worries me. I knew you'd understand, Professor. I've sat down to write a reply several times, but I can't muster up the courage or the words. I was hoping you could provide me with the encouragement I need. If I don't, he'll go ahead with the arrangement. I suppose I must aim toward cutting him out of my life completely. Okay. I think that may have been just the push I was looking for. I'll tell him the truth. That I found a life worth pursuing, and I must decline the proposal. Maybe I should tell him I've fallen for someone else. Why, it's you, Professor. Isn't that obvious? I'm just teasing. Now I'm off to write this letter and stand my ground. Thank you for your encouragement.
Professor. Apologies for bothering you so late. I just really wanted to speak with you. Thank you. You see, I've been feeling conflicted about my future. It may seem petty to worry about such things in the middle of a war like this. This isn't something I open up about with many people. Feeling such a sense of inner turmoil while a war rages on, and others are fighting with all they have, well, it feels a little selfish. The truth is, I've wanted to be a knight ever since I was a small child. Not just any knight, like one you might find serving within the castle guard, but a true knight, one serving a master. However, my father has always had different plans for me. He wants me to marry, for the benefit of the Galatea family. Defying my father feels wrong. I've seen how he's struggled over the years. His burden has always been far greater than any I've had to bear myself. While he fed me extravagant meals, he subsisted on meager portions and watered-down soups. He never once complained, even though he must have been starving. Knowing his sacrifices, I've never been able to tell him of my dream of becoming a knight. Although ultimately, I find myself betraying his wishes. Now that I've parted ways with my father, there is nothing to stop me from pursuing my dream. But even if I do become a knight, I feel an unease deep within me. I fear I will never escape this guilt I carry, that I have shunned my duty as a noble. Yes, I know. All I can do is accept this inner turmoil. Even with the academy days long behind us, you're still a professor through and through. Always listening to others' troubles and offering up your wisdom. I really am grateful for all that you do for us, Professor. I hope you'll always be here as a guide to everyone. I know I myself would appreciate that deeply.
Ugh, that hurts. Ah, Professor. Thanks for stopping by. It's not bad. I was even told I'd be cleared for service starting tomorrow. Besides, I got this scar fighting for you. It's almost like a medal or something. I certainly meant it when I said it, but when I thought you were going to be killed for real, my reflexes kicked in. I reacted without thinking. It doesn't mean I've stopped being jealous of you. But come on, I can't help but look up to you. If I'd had the guts to run away from home, I wonder if I would have cared as little about my crest as you do yours. No, but if I thought I could have escaped, I would have tried. I'd leave behind House Gautier and the life of a nobleman, and anybody who knew I had a crest. Our home is to the very north of the kingdom. Just across the mountains from us is land inhabited by foreigners to Fodlan. It once belonged to Fargus, but now that the kingdom has collapsed, it's only a matter of time until fighting breaks out. Anyway, that land has been contested for centuries, and all that time, it has fallen to House Gautier to protect it. Actually, our Lance of Ruin has been doing most of the protecting. Those were dangerous times. One wrong step, and we would have lost our relic to the church. My father was afraid that the church would try to keep the lance, so he entrusted it to me. If an emergency arose, I was supposed to be called back home. I guess those very situations are why my family values crests so much. Since I bear a crest, my parents made sure I was never left wanting. My older brother didn't have one, and so when I was born, he was pushed aside. You know, he once shoved me in a well. He left me on the mountainside in the middle of winter, too. Even as a little kid, I understood why he was like that. My mere existence stole everything from him. I have no right to complain when I am surrounded by people who would give anything to bear a crest, but do not. Now, women smile at me for the same reason my parents adore me, and my brother wanted me dead. And I have to meet them all with a smile and a wink, because I have a crest. The women who just want to use me to become nobility? Hatred's probably the right word. Though, in the end, that's just an easy answer. I don't even know how I truly feel about it all. Anyway, it was pretty unreasonable of me to resent you. I'm really sorry about that. And I want to say thank you, Professor. Seriously, thank you. Before I met you, I'd gone my whole life not knowing there was another way for me to live. So, from the bottom of my heart, I'm glad we met.
Pardon me.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. You know, it's such a thrill to be able to greet you like this again. I almost died as well in the battle 5 years ago, but I won't allow any enemies to get into this place again. I promise you that. Even if the Death Knight shows up, I'll be sure to... Well, for now I'll keep training, so I can eventually feel confident that I can stop him.
Dear Goddess, I ask for guidance. Professor, you're always watching over me, aren't you? I've spent my entire life avoiding people. Speaking to others was so difficult for me, so I made a point to always be alone. Animals and the goddess were the only ones I could really open up to. Do you remember the time you asked what it was I prayed for? Yes, but that wasn't the case. Back then, I felt that my life served no purpose, and that I was nothing more than a burden. In truth, I was begging the goddess to take me to her. That was my daily prayer. But now I fear the idea of dying and being left alone. I have friends who accept me for who I am now, in spite of my crest. And I have you watching over me. I finally learned to accept the kindness and warmth of others. It's because of you, Professor. Because of you, I've decided to live. I'm sorry to have worried you, but I'm all right now. Even if I'm separated from you or any of my friends, the memories I've made here will give me the strength to continue on. Oh, I'm sure I'll have the strength to move forward if we're together.
Really now? There's unrest everywhere these days. All of my fellow merchants seem to be endangered. I hope things go back to normal soon. People need more to smile about, aside from my great deals. Hey, how about a favor?
Got a favor to ask. Oh, good. Thanks.
Pardon me.
I need a favor.
You there?
Hey, I could use a hand.
If you don't mind, I have a favor to ask.
Do you have time for a request? You've done me a great service.
With the return of its knights, Garreg Mach is finally coming back to life. The Church of Seiros will follow you from now on, but please do not abandon the search for Lady Rhea. Wherever she is, Rhea is doubtlessly waiting for you. Please do not let her down. I have something to ask of you. With the return of the Church of...
My professor, you haven't changed a bit. At your age, I'd expect your whole demeanor to have changed greatly over 5 years. Though, I suppose I haven't changed either, right? Thank you for noticing, by the way.
Oh yeah. I don't know anything about rebuilding, but I can sure do my best to clean up the mess. I'm gonna keep Lady Rhea's room spotless, so she can use it right away whenever she gets back. You gotta find her, Professor. You just gotta.
Professor, I've grown weary and impatient. These past 5 years, my hands have been bound. But now, I can finally take action with a clear goal. I'm grateful to you and to everyone. Down with the Empire. Surely peace will soon follow if the Empire is overthrown. Then my parents can finally find peace themselves.
Professor? The promise was made 5 years ago. But I must say I'm rather impressed by how many of us managed to make it. Personally, I only showed up because I hope to see you again, Professor. I've been with my family in the Empire until recently. I admit to feeling a little guilty betraying Her Majesty, but only a little. Now that we're all together again, I suppose the fighting will begin soon.
Oh yeah.
Thankfully, it appears the records and equipment I need for my research have not been damaged. I am most curious, though. You say you were asleep for 5 whole years. Incredible. Perhaps this is another effect of your crest. I do look forward to investigating you in greater detail. I'll have to be content with observing you wherever you go, then. I cannot waste any opportunity.
I have lost my dominion. My nobility may seem like nothing more than a title, but I will never lose my noble heart. I will stop Edelgard, even if it costs me my life. I have turned my blade against her now. I cannot go back on that decision. Professor, do you think I chose the wrong path? You are right.
Even with the church in shambles, we can still pray. The goddess will surely hear our prayers. But still, I hope the church can return to its former beauty someday.
This experience is critical.
Hi. You're here, Professor, along with everyone from our old class. It's like we've gone back in time. When I think that I'll be around you again, all of my sorrows just drift away. Yes. I'll at least try not to hold anyone back. Let's work together for the common good, like we did 5 years ago.
It seems that in the last 5 years, the monks here have left this place for the town below. However, once they learn of our return, perhaps they'll come back. I hope the monastery can return to normal someday.
Professor!
The town I'd been living in came under attack by the Empire's army. My parents were both caught up in the fighting and killed. I've got no home to go back to anymore, so I guess I may as well stay here.
It's been fixed up quite a bit, but its battle scars aren't so easily erased. To think that a glorious cathedral with a 1,000-year history would end up like this. I'll rebuild this place someday. This cathedral is the symbol of Fodlan. Maybe I should paint a picture of the beautiful cathedral of old. Well, I still remember what it looked like. It's been to think. Maybe I should.
Professor? During his search for her grace, the Archbishop, Seteth has visited churches all across the land. It served to demonstrate to the devout across Fodlan that the Church of Seros is still going strong. As a result, the faithful are not currently in a state of chaos.
Hello there. Professor, I am so glad you are unharmed. No matter the path you walk, I will be with you every step of the way. Anything you ask of me, I shall see it through. You saved my life, and I am in your debt.
Members of the Knights tell me that Father left their ranks 5 years ago. They say he announced he was returning to the kingdom, but nobody's heard from him since. I haven't received word that he went back home to Mother. Where could he be? Where are you, Father?
Professor, I left home without telling my father. Did you know that? I can just imagine my father's face contorted in anger, and the delightful words he must have used to describe me. Kind of a scary image, actually. But regardless, I've put my faith in you, Professor, and I'm hoping I haven't made a big mistake.
Yes. I'm more of a mercenary than a knight these days. I work to get paid. I never was too attached to Fodlan. I was considering leaving soon, but I might change my mind if you're around. In Lady Rhea's absence, I will follow you. That's what she would want me to do. Know that wherever you might lead us, I'll continue searching for Lady Rhea. Good, because I will not budge on that point. Welcome back, Professor.
Okay.
Yes, I come from the Empire, but I have no intention of ever returning. This war the Emperor instigated has caused nothing but trouble and pain. I want this war to end. And that's why I'm here, fighting with you.
Professor, I have a proposal. Why not go beyond the Knights of Seros? Instead, uniting with allies from all across Fodlan to fight for our cause. Looking back, it would have been best to ally with the kingdom and join forces against the Empire. But now the kingdom is not exactly, well...
Professor! Hey, Professor! You won't believe what happened. I figured I couldn't go back to the Empire after Garrick Mach fell, so I started drifting across the kingdom in alliance. Then, I just happened to run into our old class, so we came back to the monastery together.
Pardon me.
Fighting alongside you and everyone else is a dream come true, Professor. And don't worry about my little sis. Right now, she's back home helping out with the family business. I kind of figured I was going to be stuck going back and taking over for her. But thanks to you guys, I get to work on my dream of becoming a proper knight.
Professor! Oh my, it's so good to see you. These days, so many old friends seem to be disappearing. But you're here. It's incredible to see you again after 5 years. I have a feeling your name will go down in history.
Hey, Professor. I know that we didn't plan to stop at the monastery, but I'm glad we did. I'm happy to be here with everyone again. Right? It's as though we went back in time 5 years. I feel like my old self again. At last, I return to my domain, my lonely paradise, my realm of exquisite solitude. Huh? Professor? Is that you? You didn't hear that just now, did you? Right! You didn't? Well, good.
A country with no king has no future. That's why I made my way here. Professor, don't let me down. You'll understand soon enough.
Professor, it's not just for my village that I'm fighting alongside you here, you know. It's also that Captain Gerald asked me, his first and greatest apprentice, to look out for you. Of course, it wouldn't be enough just to keep you alive. It's my duty to make sure you win, too. So do your best, Professor, and count on me to watch your back.
you so much.
I am grateful.
I have gratitude.
Thanks so much.
Whoa.
These past 5 years have been so chaotic, even the bounty hunters backed off. I kinda miss the chase. I don't have family ties worth fighting for, so these muscles are up for grabs. Use me as you see fit, pal. You're a smart one. Just point me at a problem and I'll smash it up for you. If you're worried my skills have dulled from disuse, think again. I've been fighting thieves to stay sharp. Got a favor to ask.
Need something. See you again soon.
Oh, you have the look of someone relieved to see me. Before you ask, yes, my superior spellcraft is yours. It's your reward for waiting so patiently for me. I'm sure that you need me, and that is enough. I recommend that you accept my generous offer. But my assistance has a price. I expect you to aid me in fulfilling my dream of restoring House Nouvelle.
Well, hello. It's been a while, hasn't it? Are you really so surprised to see me here? I flew here just as soon as I heard you were alive. I care more than you may realize. Who are you now? I will admit, hearing that does make my heart flutter a bit. So long as our efforts are aligned, I'll happily work alongside you.
You're back, finally! I've been waiting for so long! I thought you might have died. But I didn't have anywhere else to go, so I stayed here. You're welcome. It wasn't easy. I've been kinda lonely. As you might have noticed, we've lost a few people down here. I could use your help.
Why, hello there. If it is your wish. Everything is within your grasp. Come back soon now.
Thanks for giving me a hand.
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. It's you. You're still alive. It's been 5 whole years, hasn't it? Time flies when you're standing guard. That's right, I've been here the whole time. Day in and day out. Not like I have anywhere else to be. Looks like the Knights of Ceres have returned. I wonder if Mr. Backup is back too.
A lot of folks cleared out once the fighting started.
People are saying it was the church that used to keep order around here. But it's Yuri who's saving us from complete chaos.
Huh? My savior, thank you.
Bernadetta, if you have a moment, I would like to discuss what happened before.
My nemesis! The hour of fate arrives. Help!
I am not here to hurt you. You need not even open the door. Just listen to me.
I don't have to open the door? Is this a truce? Okay. I like truces.
Thank you. I would like to apologize for sticking my nose into your business the way I did. I thought you might be unhappy all cooped up in there, and that maybe I could help. But I've had time to reflect on what you said, and I realize I was mistaken.
Oh, thanks for caring, but I'm fine actually.
I see that. I suppose that is what I'm trying to say. I should not have pushed you to do something that you did not wish to do. And for me to frighten you like that? That was unbecoming conduct for a noble.
Maybe a little bit.
Frankly, I am embarrassed by my behavior. I disgraced myself. As for my injury, you need not feel guilty or afraid. The sprain was a result of my own thoughtlessness, not anything you did. I have always strived to be a good person, but I suppose all that striving was for nothing. I have failed in my duty as a noble.
Ferdinand?
Yes, Bernadetta?
I don't really know much about this sort of thing, but you shouldn't say things like that about yourself. It wasn't all your fault, you know. I'm to blame too. I hurt you, and I'm sorry.
Really, it is fine. It healed quickly.
And it wasn't for nothing either.
I am not so sure.
I do like my time alone. Actually, it's more of a need. But you're right. I also need to venture out every once in a while. Maybe if I work as hard as you do, I can try it a little more.
Yes, keep working at it. You are already much more outgoing than you used to be.
When I mess up, or even when it's just a bad day, it's hard for me to step outside. I'm too scared. But the next day, I try again. Because I know that one mistake doesn't ruin everything. So you're still... I mean, just because you... That doesn't mean... I don't know how to put it, but that's how it is. So, the end.
What a graceful end to the conversation.
Hey! Come on, that was serious! At least I got you to laugh. I've looked everywhere. I guess Sylvain must still have it. Huh? When did this book get here? Wait, this is mine! And there's something sticking out of it. A letter? Dear author, I read your manuscript quite by accident and duly apologize. However, I also write today to inform you that I enjoyed your story tremendously. I laughed and cried as the heroine overcame her many obstacles, growing stronger with each step. Your literary style presents a unique perspective. I could sense you watching over the protagonist. Wow, so many compliments, and so much attention to detail. The girl's failures are as compelling as her triumphs, since authors are told to write what they know. I believe your tale would not have been so convincing were it not for your own experiences. What? My own experiences? That's a weird way to give praise. Who wrote this anyway? Who would read my story so carefully and then write this long letter to tell me about it? Whoever it is, they must be wonderful. Someone like my dear old uncle. I do hope my letter inspires you to keep writing. Looking forward to the next chapter. Your devoted fan, Sylvain. What? Sylvain? It can't be!
Hey, you Bernadetta. Did you read my letter?
How long have you been standing there?
I'm sorry, but I fell head over heels for your story. It's so good, and I just had to tell you about it. So, what do you say? Will you write more? Why don't we talk literature over some tea?
Oh, I see your plan now. You're out to humiliate me. Very clever, but I'm not falling for it.
So, what is it, Yuri? You had me come all this way.
I need you for something. Have a seat. I won't take much of your time.
Okay.
My apologies for keeping you waiting. Here you are.
Oh, wow. Did you make this yourself?
I may not seem like much of a chef, but I know a thing or two about cooking. Looks tasty,
Can I, eat it now? I'm famished after all the training.
Have at. That's why I asked you here.
I see. Well, thank you. Don't mind if I do. This dish is divine. The first bite just melts in your mouth, and these vegetables are perfect. The flavors are interwoven together like a dance of swords between two myrmidons.
Calm yourself, Ingrid. I'm in no need of a critique. I just want you to enjoy it and take a load off.
Aw, thank you. I will. That was delicious, Yuri. I cannot thank you enough.
I'm glad. Then it was worth all the toil that went into preparing it.
You haven't eaten anything for yourself?
I figured I'd eat something a bit later. I didn't make the meal for me.
You cooked only for me?
Mm-hmm. The innkeeper provided me with some of his finest meat and told me to feed you. I figured if I was going to do it, I'd better do it right. So I popped into the kitchen and got working.
That won't do at all, Yuri. Meals are meant to be shared. It seems my stomach got the better of me this time, though. And I scarfed everything before remembering that.
Why bother yourself with such trivialities? The meal was a gift. Seeing you enjoy yourself like that is all the reward I need.
What way is that?
A bit like when you had all that meat stuffed into your cheeks at the marketplace. Like some kind of chipmunk. I like seeing the contentment on your face when you cut loose.
You do?
The innkeeper couldn't have said it better. She's got a real foodie face, that one.
I'm not quite sure how to feel.
Really, though. There are a few things I enjoy as much as seeing a woman indulging herself.
You should consider your words before using them. Such a flirtatious comment can only invite misunderstandings.
I didn't mean it that way.
do I have to clean the library?
It looks like you're not busy.
I was quite busy sampling pastries, I'll have you know. Who wants to sort books anyway? They're so bulky and heavy, it takes forever to lug them around. Right, Marianne? You agree with me, right?
No, I don't mind it.
Oh, you like cleaning then? I will say you look like someone who'd be good at it.
Well...
In that case, it's all yours. I'd only slow you down if I'm being honest. As I always say, if you want something done right, let someone else do it themselves. Right, I'm off to run some errands. I'll leave all this in your capable hands. Hey, Marianne, are you? Whoa, what happened? This place looks even worse than before. I didn't realize that was possible.
I'm sorry, Hilda. I just didn't know the best way to organize the books while sorting.
Oh, well, no way around it, I suppose. I'll show you how it's done. First, you have to decide where you'll put each topic. Then, all of the books that don't match that topic, remove them from the section. When you remove them, you need a temporary place to put them. Let's put books on magic here, books on swordsmanship here. Once you've done that, you just put the books back in their sections, like so.
Wow, Hilda, that was incredible.
Yeah, what kind praise. Looks like in the end, I'm doing this whole thing on my own,
Sorry. The least I can do is help you put them back on the shelf.
Remember when you mentioned briefly that you'd been in conference with some nobles? Did the topic of conversation happen to be me?
I haven't the foggiest idea what you're talking about.
Don't be coy with me. I recently received an offer of support from Count Karen.
Bravo! Your dream of restoring your house is that much closer now, isn't it?
We shall see. My response is on hold until I could confirm something first. You sound as befuddled as I feel. These are events you set in motion, are they not? I want only the truth from you. Lie to me and you shall be incinerated.
That doesn't leave me much wiggle room, does it? All right, I'll tell you. So yeah, I might have been negotiating with some nobles. Maybe. Possibly.
You do recall that I have nothing I can offer you in return, yes?
Of course I know that. I just did what I needed to get what I wanted. Like always.
Explain.
All my life, I've known how to angle to get everything I've ever wanted. Money, social standing, the whole kit and caboodle. See? That's how the savage mockingbird lives. Ever since I was a kid. It's how I've done things.
What does that have to do with... Wait, are you admitting to being the savage mockingbird?
And I find myself wanting in on this house of yours. The one you've yet to rebuild.
What? No, wait. You haven't yet answered my question about the savage...
Preened as this bird might be, his only home is a dark, wet back alley. As long as I'm me, nothing can change that. So I figured, if I could leave that home of mine and live simply as Yuri, even if only for a while, you know, I might like somewhere proper to return to. Somewhere cozy, comfy even. Better than House Row, where last I left from.
I'm not sure what you're insinuating here.
I'll get your house back for you. And I only ask for one thing as payment. Once House Nouvelle is back in good standing, I want a home there.
You mean you wish to join House Nouvelle? But the only way to do that...
Marriage. Bingo. Quick, easy, simple.
You and I. Spouses.
You heard me. It's a fine enough trade. What's the problem?
I mentioned nothing about a problem. Where did you get that notion? I've always found you very useful, though I could do with less, much less of your backtalk.
I suppose Milady doesn't want a rogue for a husband. Can't handle all that is Yuri, hmm?
No, but there is a procedure to this sort of thing. How can you join my house when I have none?
What? You want to do things in order? How boring. I suppose we'll be lovers for now.
You mock me! You mock me and I will not have it!
Me? Mock? I'm being sincere. I'd never live out another dull day with you by my side.
That is my only fear. A life spent by your side may be more taxing than I could stand.
Seeing you so flustered provides endless entertainment.
Edelgard is controlling the Empire. She is putting the pressure on the Kingdom and Alliance. Empire and religion are at open war. It will be difficult for us at first, but corrupt nobles are many. That means the common people will rebel and be joining our side. With you, Professor, the battle tides will turn. I have certainty.
Welcome. This one?
Thank you.
This one?
Thank you.
This one?
Thank you. Please come again.
Still a long way to go.
Nope. Nope.
That.
Practice is paying off.
Hey, Professor, I got a question. What?
Professor?
not sure about this. Looks like... I guess that's that.
Interesting.
This is working out.
Learning these...
Even the god, I hope...
This experience is critical.
Professor, you're here?
I am perhaps...
Professor? Ma, at your... The...
Professor, but now...
Professor?
First, I've been... Now that we're all...
Professor. I can just kind of... And I'm hoping...
Yes.
Hey. So long.
Oh, come on. I've been kind of...
I'd given up on ever seeing you again. Where have you been hiding? Anyway, now that we're reunited in the land of the living, I must fulfill my promise. That's right. I promised the captain I'd protect you in his stead, and now I'll make good on my word.
teacher. I have turned.
Aha! Professor.
Thanks.
Pretty good job.
I've got the gist of it now.
I think I've got this'll come in handy.
Professor.
It's not, it's all, of course.
So do your...
Professor, I get kind of, and I'm hope.
There's still more to learn.
Professor?
No matter anything. Even the god, I hope.
I'm getting the hang of this.
Perhaps.
Hey,
Oh, come. I've been.
nature. I have turned.
Ooh, eating.
I think I like this, but it's been a while, so I'm not sure.
I like this dish.
That
I realize.
Yeah, I am.
Friend.
Thank you for helping me with my training again today, Professor. I'm gonna keep at it for a while longer, so you go on ahead. I can't. Not when I'm right on the cusp of using my power to greater potential. Surely you yourself are tired. Just don't worry about me, okay? I'm sorry, Professor. It was careless of me to continue, despite how fatigued I clearly was. I probably should have listened to you. Now I've made a mess of things. I can't help but feel the need to rush in all things constantly. You get that way when you realize you haven't got much time. 18 years ago, House Ordelia was involved in a civil conflict within the Empire. All we did was respond to a call for aid. We weren't involved politically. But once the rebellion was crushed, my family was held responsible for the aid we gave, and the Empire gained some sway over us as a result. At the time, the noble houses of the Alliance took a passive stance. No one lent aid to my family. As a result, some key officials within the family were killed, and people from the Empire were sent to replace them. Among those people were some mysterious mages. They were unsettling, in a word. Skin pale as death. One after another, they captured and imprisoned the children of our household. They began performing terrible rituals on the children, though it's probably more accurate to call them experiments. With the Empire monitoring our every move, My parents could do nothing but watch in horror as all of this unfolded. One after another, the children died, till the only one left was me. You know, my hair wasn't always this color. During their experiments, they'd been doing things with my blood. One morning, I awoke like this. A shock of white hair, all trace of pigment gone. Upon seeing me, the mages were delighted. They realized that their experiments had finally succeeded. Sure enough, they ran a test and saw that two crests coexisted within me. Losing pigment from my hair wasn't the only loss. The mages informed me that my lifespan was now greatly shortened. 5 more years at most, perhaps less. Shortly thereafter, the mages lost interest in me, and we never saw them in the Ordelia household again. Since all that, our family has been in decline. It's challenging now even to govern our territory. After all my mother and father have suffered, I at least want them to have peace as they grow older. That is all I wish for, but I haven't much time to ensure it comes to pass. It's not like what's been done to me can be undone. Professor. The only way I can conceive of would be to remove my crest somehow. But I don't know if that's even remotely possible. Even if it were, I wouldn't be of much use to you and the others without my crests. You sound resolved. I'll allow your resolve to bolster my own. Thank you, Professor. It's finished.
I think I got... I've learned a thing or...
I'm looking sharp.
Mastery is... Even the god, I hope... Professor. It's not, it's all, of course, so do your...
Professor, I can just kind of, and I'm hoping.
I am perhaps...
so much.
I am grateful. I have gratitude.
Thanks so much.
Hey.
Oh, come on. I've been kind of...
Teacher, I have turned...
Huh?
With the Church of...
Really now? There's... I hope this...
Oh yeah, I'm you gotta find...